All right, I think we're live. I think we got it going tonight. Let's hope for no technical issues tonight. Am I coming through okay? I think I need to turn the lights up a little bit. You guys tell me how it looks, and then we'll get going. So while we're waiting for this to get all caught up and a few people to get in here, let's just get the disclaimers out of the way. My name's Chris. If this is your first time here, well, this is a weekly live broadcast. Most weeks I can do this 7 o'clock Central on Thursday evenings. Not always. Sometimes things get in the way. Work got in the way a little bit tonight, and I had to do some work stuff, but it was only just a few minutes worth, so it wasn't that big a deal. Got my trusty soda with me, so I'm ready to go tonight. There is no topic planned out. This is just an opportunity for you guys to ask me questions. I do my best to answer all of the comments that come in during the live chat itself. So if you're watching this after the fact, I may not respond to the comments. I've been bad about responding to comments lately. Only things I ask is keep it family friendly, be polite. You know, we can disagree on things. We can have friendly debates. There's no reason to get hateful. There's no reason to, get mad and start calling people names over a difference of opinion or something like that. So grab a drink so we can get going. All right. Where we at here? Oh, boy, we got a bunch of people jumping in here. All right, Jeff Sapp, good to see you. Says he thought he was late. Hello from Central Missouri. Well, Central Missouri, I was probably right past your place. Well, I don't know. I had to go to St. Louis yesterday, take my wife to the doctor, get a follow-up on her, polyps they removed. Everything's fine. She's doing well, so praise God for that. So I was probably right by your place. Who knows? Jasmine says, see you soon. Well, I'm here now, so good to see you, and thanks for joining. Jeff also says, starting the incubator tomorrow with my own eggs. Fantastic. Good luck with your hatch. I'm sure you're going to do fantastic with it. All right. How are we doing on sound? You guys can hear me okay? Coming through all right on that? And do I need to turn the lights up a little bit? Is it grainy? Is it kind of dark? How's it looking? I'm going to wait for somebody to respond to that, and then we'll go. Sound is fine. Good sound here. Good. All right. A little dark. Let me turn the light up a little bit here. Hang on just a second. All right. How's that? That better? That should be better. Yeah, that should be a little bit better. That's a little bit brighter. That's quite a bit brighter. So, all right. Here we go. All right, Ed Got Bait, good to see you. Hello to you, Junie. And Kathleen says, love your videos. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey to you, Disc Farmer. Fan Me says, have you ever took a rabbit to the fair? No, I have never done that. I've never been involved in a state fair or anything like that. I've been to a few of them, but I've never actually been involved in one. All right, Jupiter says, hope you have a great time at QuailCon. Thank you. Yeah, just 2 days away. Well, 2 days away from my travel. 3 days away for the actual event. Good to see you too, Robin. Moon Outdoors says hello to everyone. T-Disc Farmer says, I'll call you some real fancy adjectives. Okay, that's fine. You can call me all the names you want. Just don't do it. Don't be hateful. Don't get anything too racy or in the comments or anything like that here. We got family. We got kids and stuff and all kinds of different people that join in here. We just want to keep it clean in here, but you can call me all the names you want. It's fine with me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Paul says, good day, Chris from Australia. Awesome to see you all the way from Australia joining in here tonight. I guess it's probably morning time for you. Holly says, hey, Chris, I went outside tonight to collect I'm assuming there's more to that. I don't know where it went, though, so we'll get to it in a minute, hopefully. Whatever you were going to collect, hopefully you collected it. Abbott's Guns says, good evening from Wagner, Oklahoma. I don't know exactly where Wagner is. Sounds familiar, but I don't know where it is, but thanks for joining. Ed says, lost another bird today. No idea why, but the black soldier flies are dining well tonight. Yeah, sometimes that happens. It's part of keeping animals, especially the quail. I mean, you just seem to lose one every once in a while for who knows why, unknown reason. If it's just one here and there, it's probably not that much to worry about. Hopefully it's not anyway. But yeah, those black soldier flies are great at cleaning that stuff up. Hello to you, Brandon. A bunch of comments about the sound being okay. A little dark. We got that fixed, I think. T-Disc Farmer says, muy bien. Gracias. All right, much better. Good. Thank you. Let me see. We're a little bright. Oh, it's a little bright now, huh? Well, I think here, let me see if I can find the sweet spot in the light. We'll turn it down just a tad bit. You guys get to look at my belly while I do this. Let's try that. Maybe it won't shine so much right here on my forehead. All right. Hopefully we're good now. All right. Holly says, hey, Chris, I went outside to collect my quail eggs, and I had 2 dull white eggs. I usually have 1 blue egg, and the rest are your usual brown and cream colored. Have you ever had a sudden change? It does happen from time to time. It's nothing to worry about. It's just normal. There could be a little bit of extra calcium deposits on it or something like that, but it's really not a big deal. I don't worry about them at all. I get those every once in a while too. Those kind of almost a gray colored kind of egg, looks a little kind of miscolored, a little weird, but it's nothing to worry about. It doesn't mean anything. All right. Hello to you, Jerome. Jennifer says, I have a big jumbo brown that lays double yellows more often than not. Do I need to watch her for getting egg bound? Well, you may want to keep an eye on her for sure. I don't know how old the bird is, but some of my birds will be, they'll lay double yolk eggs for a little while, especially when they're younger and they first start laying eggs. And then it seems to work out and they get over it. But some birds are just more prone to it than others. I've never had a bird get egg bound from it, but yeah, it may be something you want to keep an eye on, make sure. All right. Katrina says, hey, from Gilroy, California. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you. I hope you are too. Hopefully, I know there's a bunch of fires up. I don't know where Gilroy is in comparison, so I don't know if there's fires in your area, but if there are, stay safe. Hopefully you're doing well. Holly says, I'm new to raising quail, and I have a jumbo brown and a pearl Coturnix quail. Well, that sounds like a nice mix. Hello to you, Avery, from Oregon. Bunny says, I just pulled 11 quails from my incubator today. Awesome. Congratulations. Abbott's Guns and Hobbies says between Muskogee and Tulsa. That's where, wherever it is you're from in Oklahoma. I can't remember the name of it now. I know I saw it. Is it Wagner? Is that right? I can't find the previous comment. But yeah, I've probably been through there then because, well, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't typically drive past Tulsa. But, I used to live in Texas, so I would drive back and forth to Texas occasionally and would go right through Muskogee. Brandon says, can't wait for QuailCon. We're almost packed up and ready to leave soon. Well, you are a step ahead of me. I haven't packed a single thing yet, but I don't need to pack that much. Just a couple change clothes and camera and whatnot, and I'll be there. It's going to be weird. It's always weird when I travel, especially when I fly, because I end up getting where I'm going. I don't have a pocket knife. I don't have my multi-tool. I don't have my gun. I just, it's all the stuff I carry with me all the time, and I don't have them. It's just strange. I don't know how many times this weekend I'm probably going to be reaching for my multi-tool to do something. I'm like, oh, it's not there. I use that thing all the time. I highly suggest it. If you do anything this thing is the most handy tool ever. I use a Gerber. I like the Gerber Flick because you just flick them open. One-handed, works great, and it's got screwdriver and saw and all that. I use the screwdriver and I use the pliers more than anything else, but they work great. And they have a lifetime warranty, so if you break them, you just send them in. They send you a brand new one. All right, and trust me, I've done that several times. I'm on my 3rd or 4th set that I didn't have to pay for. Broke them, sent them in. They sent me back another one. All right, Junie says, how do you treat an egg-bound bird? It's a little bit tricky, honestly. You can try to massage the egg out. There's a couple of different ways to do it. Soak in like an Epsom salt bath, and that can help loosen that up a little bit to where it'll come out. It's not advised to break the egg. You really want to avoid breaking the egg because then it can lead to infection and all kinds of nasty things that you don't want to have happen. The problem with an egg-bound bird, though, is honestly a lot of the times that's a reoccurring issue. If a bird gets egg-bound, it continues to happen. And, you usually end up, with quail anyway, I think you would usually end up probably losing the bird, unfortunately. Luckily, it's not a very common issue. So it's not something you usually have to worry about. And you probably won't ever have that issue with your birds. All right. Helen says, hey, from Australia, had a nice shower of rain this morning, a spring shower. Yeah, we're getting ready to go into wintertime here. I forget it. You're going into spring. You're on the opposite side of the world and opposite seasons. But yeah, we've got some rain coming, I think. It feels like rain outside. Looks like rain's coming. There may be a shower tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Joey says, how can you tell if a rabbit doe is infertile? One of my does had 2 false pregnancies already, but she did gain weight during those times. But then she doesn't give birth. Boy, that's a tricky one, honestly. There's no way to know for sure. if your doe is infertile, unless you, I mean, it's a long drawn out process, but unless you've bred, like you've got a buck that you know is a good performer, like you bred him to another doe, she got pregnant, she had babies, then you bred him to this doe and you saw successful mating, but she never had her babies. And it may not mean that she's infertile. She just may be miscarrying for some reason or another. But if you've done that, if you know that buck is fertile, and you bred him recently, because remember, bucks can go sterile in the heat of summer. So if you're in, I don't know if you're in the United States where you're at, but if you're in a section where the temperatures are above 85 degrees Fahrenheit for any kind of period of time, then, it's possible for that buck to go sterile for a little while. Now, they'll get over that, but if it's the heat of summer, it could be your buck is just a little bit sterile right now, and you may have to wait till fall to breed them. But, there's no easy way to really know for sure that doe is infertile. Like I said, unless, say, you bred the buck to a doe, and then you bred him to this doe. A couple of days later, the first one, did have babies, gave babies. This one didn't. That would be a good sign that there's a problem with the doe, whether she's infertile, she's miscarrying, whatever. If she's a younger doe, you might give her another chance too. It may have just been that she's just a little on the young side and not ready to breed yet. All right. Holly says, okay, thanks, Chris. I don't know why. I can't remember what. We're talking about egg bound and stuff. Yeah, you are absolutely welcome. Todd. Hey, Chris from Crete, Illinois. Excited to meet you at the QuailCon. Hey, I'm looking forward to it too. Make sure you come up and talk to me, say hi, introduce wyourself to me, because I won't know who you are. I won't. I mean, all I see is a little symbol, a little green thing with a T on it. That's it. And there's so many people that come in and out of here. I probably will have a hard time remembering usernames as well. So just come up and introduce yourself to me. We'll chat. All right. Avery wants to know, how are the rabbits? They're doing well. I think I got rid of the ear mites finally. Maybe they'll probably come back again. Ear mites are a reoccurring issue, but they're doing well. They're it's been hot. So I don't mess with them too much. I just leave them alone and let them just kind of hang out in their cage and chill out. All right. Katrina says, got meat rabbits Friday from a girl who had them for 4-H, named after pasta dishes. California buck is Parmesan, and the 3 black New Zealands are tortellini, and 2 of their daughters are meatball and ziti. Awesome. Glad you finally got some meat rabbits. I say finally. I don't know how long you've been working on it, but yeah, glad you got some meat rabbits. They sound like fantastic ones. It's hard to go wrong with somebody from 4-H. You're usually going to get pretty good stock from them. So congratulations. And he goes on to say, or Katrina goes on to say, Gilroy is a half an hour south of San Jose in the Bay Area. The fires are closer to Tahoe, several hour drives away, but we're getting smoke periodically. Yeah, I knew they were up around Tahoe. I just didn't know where Gilroy was in relation to that. So anyway, stay safe. I know I've seen smoke in the air here from the last set of fires that went through California, a couple months ago. And yeah, I can't imagine living that close and having to deal with it. It's a pain. I vaguely remember when Mount St. Helens went off back in, 82, 83. I was about 9 years old, something like that. I can remember seeing ash and smoke in the air here from that. But that was a long time ago. T-Disc says, Caternix quail grill temp below 300, cook for 3 hours, keep wet. My preference is with espresso and honey, stuffed with herbs of choice and 1/4 onion. Good. Well, that does sound pretty good. I've never tried to cook one for 3 hours. Seems like an awful long time to cook them. But, like you said, if you keep them moist, that could help. Keep them wet. That could definitely help. I'd just be worried about them getting overcooked and turn out, mushy or something like that. But hey, who knows? I've never tried it. So maybe I'll give that one a try. I did make fajitas with quail the other day, 2 days ago. Made fajitas. Just cut the meat off the bone, the breast meat off the bone, and just cook it like you would chicken fajitas. And it was pretty good. All right. T-Dis says, that was it. I already read that one. Josh says, hey, Chris, hope all is well. It is. Thank you very much. Alan says, hey, Chris, I'm listening in from Idaho. I'm 13 years old, and I just had my first litter of kits yesterday. Thank you so much for all your rabbit videos. Well, awesome. Thank you for watching them. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining in all the way from Idaho, and congratulations on your first litter of rabbits. That's always an exciting one. Many more I'm sure you're going to have, and I'm glad to hear that they're doing well. Brandon says, pack your Gerber in your checked bag. Well, I'm not checking any baggage. It's carry on. So, yeah. You could put a multi-tool and a pocket knife, I think, in a checked bag, but I'm not checking baggage. I'm just doing carry-on. Jake says, ever had a quail fall asleep in the water and die? Full-grown hen, her beak was in there, dead. Wasn't sure what caused it. No, I don't think I've ever had that happen. I doubt that it was an issue with her falling asleep and drowning in the water. I mean, it could be, I guess, but if it is, then you're probably better off without that bird. But but anyway, sorry, I got distracted by another comment. But no, I've never had that happen. Who knows, man? Sometimes birds just, for whatever reason, just die, and you find them in the weirdest spots. David says slightly redneck is already too much. I don't know what that means exactly, but okay. Probably even calling me names. That's probably what it was in reference to. Dooley's Michigan Homestead says thumbs up from the Dooleys of Michigan. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Whoa, I scrolled too far. Avery just sold my first litter of kits. Fantastic. Congratulations on that. Katrina says, what temperature is good to try start breeding rabbits? I think I remember males go sterile in 85 degrees. How much time with weather constantly below that temperature before you should breed? You know, I've actually don't know that I've ever had an issue with the male actually going sterile. So, you know, try as soon as it starts to cool off. And, you know, if it doesn't work, you know, try again as soon as you're ready. As far as if a buck does go sterile from the temperature, I really don't know for sure the time it would take him to recover from that, but I don't think it would be more than just about 2 weeks. So, you know, it's something that, I don't know that I've ever had the issue. I don't breed in the summertime, so I wouldn't even really know if my buck was sterile in the summer. But as soon as it starts to cool off just a little bit, I breed the rabbits, and I've never had an issue with them not being successful at breeding. So I don't think it takes very long for them to recover. And, you know, the whole idea of they can go sterile at 85 degrees, it can happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Some rabbits are way more heat tolerant than other rabbits. And, you know, it's not a guarantee that they're going to go sterile just because it's 85 degrees out. All right, where are we at here? Ed got bait says, come on, people, 40 in the chat and only 3 thumbs up. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Yeah, do hit that thumbs up if you are enjoying the chat. If you're getting your questions answered, hit the thumbs up for me. And, you know, if you're in the live stream, you may have to exit out, hit the thumbs up and come right back in if you're on like your phone or something like that. But yeah, hit a thumbs up here and we'll get this video promoted. All right, Avery says, how do I get rid of sore hawks? Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, I'm going to tell you some things you probably don't want to hear, but your best bet is probably to get rid of that rabbit and replace it. Sore hawks is really a genetic issue, and rabbits that are prone to sore hawks are probably going to have a reoccurring issue with it constantly. If you want to treat the rabbit, if it's like a pet rabbit and you really want to treat it, you can do so with something like you want to clean it up real good. You want to treat it with like an antibiotic ointment. Do not use one with pain reliever in it. Pain reliever can be toxic, so don't use pain reliever on it. And you can use something like Preparation H on there to get the skin to tighten up and keep it from breaking apart every time the rabbit walks. You also want to give them something nice and soft to get on, to walk on. But unfortunately, again, rabbits that are prone to sore hawks can be prone to sore hawks no matter what they're on. One thing I would suggest is if you are going to put it on something like, like a carpeted floor or something like that, make sure the nails are trimmed. If their nails are too long and you're putting them on a solid floor, it causes them to put more pressure on the back of their feet because their nails are hitting the ground and it's lifting their feet up. So that can make the situation a little bit worse. But honestly, if it was me, and we're talking about meat rabbits, I would probably call it, put it out of its misery, get a new rabbit. You don't want to, especially if you're looking at keeping it offspring as future breeding stock, you don't want that in your lines. That's my suggestion on it anyway. But like I said, if it is a pet rabbit, if it's something that you're really attached to, you want to treat it, you want to take care of it, then you can definitely do so. A little bit of antibiotic ointment, nice soft pad for it to get off, the hard solid floor or the cage floor or whatever it's on, will help a little bit. Preparation H to help tighten up that skin and keep it from breaking apart. And just constant monitoring, but just know it's probably going to reoccur, unfortunately. All right. All right. Ed Got Bait says hi to WT Farms. Is that Whiskey Tango Farms in here? Did I miss that? Or did I read their name and not even make the connection? Anyway, if they're in here, good evening to you guys. Sorry if I didn't acknowledge you. Joey says, I've bred 2 does with the same buck, and the other one gave birth, so I tried the other one again, and still no pregnancy. I will give the doe another chance to see what happens. Yeah, that's probably your best bet. I always say like three times, third time's a charm. If it doesn't work, then yeah, you may have to get a new doe. All right. David says, all the best for QuailCon from David in Coventry, UK. Awesome. Thanks for joining all the way from UK. And thank you. I think we're going to have a good time there. Too bad you can't make it. I realize that's a long ways to go. I know. I don't blame you, but too bad you can't. We'd love to see you there. Jasmine says, what are your top tips for processing quail by your Lonesome? I have about 30 adult Coturnix quail ready to dispatch. My husband is really busy. I can do chicken duck by myself, but I use a cone. Any help? Okay, so yeah, I have some videos on doing that. Ed says you can use a smaller cone for quail. I don't really ever find a cone necessary for the quail. I'll tell you how I do it, and you can do quail incredibly fast. There's not a whole lot to quail except for the breast, and the legs have a little bit on them. So you can decide to save the legs if you want to, or you can let them go. But the way that I do that, take the bird in your hand, I use a screwdriver. It's got a handle on the end, so I use it backwards. Don't hold it by the handle end. Use it by the other end. Hold it by the other end. Knock the bird on the back of the head real good. That puts them out, and then snip their head off with a pair of scissors. Hold them over a bucket or something like that, so you can bleed them out in the bucket, and just till they stop squirming too much, which is going to be 30 seconds or so. And then I turn them over right on the breast, right there. Grab the skin and pull it apart, and it'll just peel right open for you. And you stick your thumb underneath the breastbone right there. You'll feel it. Stick your thumb under there, pop it up, and you can just pop the breast right out. You may have to snip the edges off right there where it connects kind of to the wings, but you can just pop it right out. And that's it. If you want the legs skinned out, just go ahead and skin them out. They'll just push right out. I don't pluck the quail. It's just too much work in my opinion. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense. If you need more help on that, you can look back. I've got a video. Excuse me. It's been a little while since I posted that video. I don't remember how long. It was about, I can't even remember what it was called now. I think the fastest way to process quail or something like that. You can look back through and you can see my video and I'll show you the technique. I can't show the actual dispatching of the bird, but I kind of explain it, and I have to cut that part out for YouTube, but you can figure it out from there. All right. Where are we at here? Brandon says to Jasmine, says, just take time. I do them in sets of 10. If you can, just so it doesn't get overwhelming. Yep, that's true. You can. Katrina says, I'm in the same spot as you. Mine are about 4 to 5 weeks old, so I have some time to amp up. I'm going to try the cervical dislocation Zach at my shire shared. Seems to be the quickest. Yep, you can do it a lot of different ways. There's 100 different ways to skin a quail. So I think that's supposed to be skin a cat, but you guys get it. All right. Mary says, sounds like quail jersey for the long. I don't know what that means exactly. Del Choo Choo's here from Cuba. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Forgive me for my ignorance, and maybe, I don't know what you call this, ignorance, or you call it, I don't know. But I kind of surprised to see somebody from Cuba joining. I thought it was a little bit, I didn't think you could just join. I don't know. I don't know what the restrictions are in Cuba, what it's like, but I've always heard it's kind of restricted there and difficult to get things done. Jasmine says, thanks, Ed, Brandon, and Katrina. And Ed, where would you find a tiny cone? My hubby made the large ones with aluminum sheeting. I made my killing cone for my chickens. I made that out of aluminum sheeting as well. I've never used one for quail, though. Owen says, hi, how you doing? I'm doing well. Hopefully you are, too. And Darren says, good day to everybody. Let's see. Jasmine says, I've never seen cervical dislocation done for quail. Who had videos for that? Apparently my shire did. I haven't seen their video on that, but there's a couple of different ways you could do it. Jeff says to look at a sporting goods store for small cones. I didn't know they made them. Brandon says, I really don't think using a cone helps at all when processing quail. A good pair of kitchen shears is all you need unless you want to pluck the feathers. Yeah, I kind of agree with Brandon. I do stun them first. I used to just snip their heads off, but it did seem kind of cruel. So I stun them. I just knock them on the back of the head really good with a club. And I just use a screwdriver, a long screwdriver, and turn it around so the handle part is the club. Hit them on the back of the head. Watch your fingers when you do that. If you hit them too hard, their head will bend down and their beak can, I've actually had their beak go into my finger and stick in my finger, which is unpleasant. So you might want to watch your fingers, but it's not that hard. It's pretty easy. Jake says, thank you. I really look forward to your weekly broadcast. Enjoy QuailCon. I appreciate the insight. Well, thank you for the kind comments. I appreciate that. And thanks for always joining the live broadcasts. Brandon says to Jasmine, Zach is the one with in a live video that he did. Also, Chris has one on his channel as well. I would check those out. Yeah, I don't use cervical dislocation. I do on my rabbits, but not for the quail. I just, like I said, knock them on the back of the head, stun them, and snip their head off. And it, any pair of scissors pretty much is going to work. I would say kitchen shears are probably better. You probably don't want to use like fabric scissors. It's going to dull them up pretty quick, but any kind of kitchen shear is going to be fine. Brandon says, Verna, I just posted the link for Zach's in the Newbie Quail Lovers group on Facebook last week sometime. If you have the link for it, just post it in the chat here. It's fine. I don't mind. Avery says, he's just a pet. He's an English spot. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, unfortunately, my guess is if he's a pet and he's an English spot, you're probably letting him run loose in the house or something like that. Check his nails. If he's running around on carpet and solid floor, it could be that his nails are a little bit long, and that's causing him to put more pressure on the back of his feet because, like I said, it's just causing his feet to be up in the air because their nails are hitting the ground. So that may be something to check. All right. Jasmine wants to know, would Cutco chicken shear or kitchen shears work or need something sharper? My Kershaw is always sharp and in my pocket. Yeah, no, they would be fine. Just about any kitchen shear you have is going to be fine, and they're going to work. It's not that difficult. It's really pretty easy to do. You'll be surprised. All right. Katrina says, I have an amount of daily pellets from the previous owner. Curious how much you feed your rabbit. Free choice hay. She just filled the wire feeder every day. Oh, and they come with breeding records too. Well, fantastic. That's very nice. As far as how much to feed them, feed them as much as they'll eat within 24 hours. You want them cleaning up all their food. You don't want a bunch of food left over when you come in to feed them the next day. So, roughly 8 ounces or so. I have a small cup out there that I use. I just fill it up and dump it in their food bowl. You'll figure out after a couple of days how much is enough. So if you put that much food in their feeder, you come back the next morning to feed them or 24 hours later, and there's still some food left over, just reduce it, that much less in the cup and see if that's the right amount. If you come back and their feeder is empty and you pour food in there and they just dive right in like they're starving, put just a little bit more in there. You'll find the sweet spot for them pretty quick. And they'll fluctuate a little bit. They'll go for periods of time where they're eating a little bit more and they're eating a little bit less. But that's it. Just, 24 hours, whatever they'll finish up in 24 hours. Oh, Brandon says, I'm Whiskey Tango Farms, Chris. Just not showing that account. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Brandon. I don't have everybody's names associated. I'm so bad with keeping track of names. I think I'd forget my own sometimes if it wasn't for name tags and my license and stuff. So Brandon says, yeah, we use kitchen shears, just some cheap ones, and they work fine. Yeah, I don't have any. I've used several different kinds. People always ask me, what kind do you use? I'm like, I don't even know what brand it is. It's cheap ones I got somewhere. They work fine. Hey, Wilkinson from Quebec. Good to see you. Or Volkson, that's what it is. Volkson, good to see you. Thanks for joining. T-Disc says, never a dull moment. 3 of my peafowl tried to escape while the pigeons were returning to their aviary. Whew, close call. Yeah, I can imagine that is a close call. I still want to get some pigeons someday. I'd like to have some. I've toyed with the idea, and I keep coming back to it, and I go, I don't need any pigeons. And then it comes back, and I think about it again. But who knows? Maybe I will someday. Got a lot of things going on right now. I probably need to wait till things slow down just a little bit. Jasmine says, thank you, Chris. That visual was helpful. I will check out your video later. Appreciate all the suggestions. You're absolutely welcome. Katrina says, I got a drill attachment that's a plucker. I'll let you know how it works after I use it in 3 to 4 weeks. I've seen those drill attachments for chickens. I don't know that it would work for quail. I'm a little worried that, I don't know. I haven't tried it, so maybe not. But I'm a little worried that it just shred the skin off. I mean, their skin's so thin. It doesn't hold up nearly like chicken skin does. So I don't know that it would work. But let us know if it does. That'd be great. Jasmine says, "Love this community. Quail peeps are the best peeps." Yeah, it is a good community. I agree. Richard says, "How does one identify a true Tamuck?" I don't know that I can answer that honestly. I think you just have to trust the breeder. Actually, they should have slightly larger ears, I would think, than a normal New Zealand white. They are bred to be more heat tolerant, but I don't know. I don't know that there's a good way to tell. I mean, I've seen pictures. I haven't actually seen them in person. There are some people that have some not too far from me, and I think, when it comes time to replace my rabbits, I'm going to probably look into getting some Tamucks. But until then, I don't know that I can answer that one for you. To me, they look just like a regular New Zealand white. Sorry, popping my ears, making funny faces. But anyway, Katrina says, cervical dislocation was on a My Shire Live. Verna posted it a while back to the Newbie Quail Lovers Facebook group. Was the last 5 minutes of the live. Well, there you go. Volkson says, "I just chopped my quail's head off with a pair of heavy-duty Fisker scissors. Goes clean off." Yeah, that's pretty much what I do too. T-Dis says, "Scissors work great. The kosher method is the most humane. Cutting the carotid artery," there we go, had a hard time with that word, "first, causing unconsciousness, but scissors are pretty dang fast." Yep, I agree, they are fast. Bob says, "Hey, Chris, I have a lot of black soldier fly live under my hutch. Can I feed them live to my quail? And if so, do they need to be washed first?" No, then just throw them in there. Sorry. No, just throw them in there. They'll eat them, or they won't. They may not, but chances are they will eat them. You're probably going to need something like a bowl or something to put them in, because if you just put them in their cage, when they grab them, they're going to fling them around, and they're probably going to fall through the bottom of the cage. So put them in their sand bath or something like that. That'll keep them kind of hopefully contained while they toss them around and then finally eat them. But you don't need to worry about washing them off first or anything like that. It's fine. David Wong says, it is cruel to eat quail and rabbit. Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, David. I understand where you're coming from. I don't know, what your views on are and everything, but I believe that my creator created me as an omnivore. I'm supposed to eat meat and vegetables. That's why I have these sharp teeth in the front and these flat teeth in the back. That's stuff for grinding, and like you see on herbivores. This is stuff for like meat, for tearing meat and things. That's what you see on like predators. So we are created to be omnivores. I'm supposed to eat meat. And, if you look in, and again, I don't know what your worldviews are, but I am a Christian. And if you look in the Bible even tells us of a time when God provided quail to the Israelites as they were wandering through the desert. And if he didn't want us to eat quail, he probably wouldn't have provided those for us. So I don't believe that it is cruel, but, hey, to each their own. You can have your own views on it, and I will respect that. T-Dis says, "It is cruel to pluck a live vegetable from its living state as well. Plants scream. Just because we can't hear them doesn't mean plants don't feel it." That could be. I don't know about that either, but life feeds on life. It is necessary. I agree, it is. It's just the circle of life. We're supposed to eat things. Now, if you are David, if you're a meat eater and you eat other kinds of meat, I'm not sure where you can make the connection that it's somehow cruel to eat this kind of meat versus that kind of meat. I know that we all have to me, I don't want to eat my dog. I know there are people in the world that eat dogs on a regular basis. That's fine. I don't think it's necessarily cruel for them to do that, but to me, it is difficult for me to watch, because to me, my dog is my pet. He's like a member of the family, and I don't want to think of him that way, but hopefully that makes sense how I'm trying to explain that. So, I can understand you may have a, predisposition that you just don't think, you just can't fathom it or anything, but it's not really any crueler than eating any other kind of meat. That's just my thoughts on it. Del Chuchu says, "I've been stuck here since beginning of the pandemic. Can't wait to get back home in the U.S. The internet here is really something." Where are you again? Oh, that's been a long time though, but yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know where you're at. I can't remember. but stuck there since the beginning of the pandemic. I heard a story about, grab a drink here. Heard a story. It was on the radio yesterday. I had to take my wife to St. Louis. We left at 5 a.m. Got back at 7:30, almost 8 o'clock last night. Long day. But anyway, so I got to listen to a lot of radio on the way. I typically don't when I'm driving. I typically listen to a podcast or something like that when I'm driving. But, because my wife was with me and I didn't want to, when I'm listening to a podcast, I want to focus on it. Anyway, long story short, there was a story on the radio. They were talking about some woman that went on a weekend vacation to I don't remember where it was, some kind of, island nation, paradise kind of place. She went on a weekend vacation there just at the start, like when COVID first just kind of hit, and she got trapped there. She couldn't come back to the U.S., and that is one of the few places in the world that has not had a single case of COVID at all. So she's been stuck there the entire time. I guess it'd probably be worse to be. She says it's not too bad, because it's like paradise, but she does miss her family and things. And I can imagine it'd be tough anywhere to be stuck away from home. All right, Katrina, look up What Plants Talk About on YouTube. It's a great documentary. Says that to Disc Farmer, T-Disc Farmer. I've never heard of that. But anyway, Poor Boy's Little Homestead says, hello, Chris. I finally caught you live and watching you way before I started my YouTube channel. Well, thank you so much for joining the live broadcast. I appreciate and for being a watcher. I appreciate it. Katrina says, Terry on Katronic's Corner did a video on it, and it worked well for him. The drill attachment. Oh, okay. Well, maybe it does work. Like I said, I'm not always right, as much as I like to think I am. T-Disc Farmer says, Katronic's quail are kosher as well, so even a safe meat to eat. Are they really? Doesn't that, no, I'm thinking halal or something like that. I don't think kosher has anything to do with the way they're butchered, does it? I don't remember now that I think about it. But it should, right? Kosher, because they can't be, I'm trying to remember the law. Don't eat meat that was strangled, right? Isn't that part? Anyway, so it may have something to do with the way they're processed too, but yeah, I guess they are kosher. Ed Got Bait says, he's talking to Bob Romano, says, I use a container and put some quail feed in it and place the black soldier fly larva pile so they can just crawl in. It works great, zero poop, and it dries them off so they can't climb. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Tita says kosher is based on the type of meat and based on how it is butchered. Yeah, I thought that was the case. So, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about, I'm not Jewish, so I don't really know a whole lot about kosher. I do know that, I've read the Old Testament, I've read the laws, but I can't remember all the details of them either. So I know there are lots of things that are not. Sorry, I just looked down at a mess I have right here. You guys can't see and realize I need to clean up. But I can't remember specifically all of the details. All right. Yeah, I do know that. T-Disc says no bottom feeders, nothing that crawls on its belly. Yep, I do know that. Nothing with cloven hoof and chews its cud, right? Is it cloven hoof? Nothing that has a cloven hoof and chews its cud, I think, is the rule. So they can't. That's why they don't eat pigs or what else? What else would fall into that category? Goats, I think, are okay, aren't they? Anyway, T-Disc says, I don't know them all either. Just sharing what I know. I looked up their method of butchering first. The Shachita. I don't know if I don't know how to pronounce that word exactly, but yeah, it's an interesting topic to look into. I do find the Old Testament laws to be kind of fascinating, but I am a Christian, so I don't necessarily think. I think Jesus fulfilled the law, and that no longer applies to me. So I don't have to worry about keeping the law because it was impossible to keep anyway. That's my thoughts on that. But Shehita, huh? Okay. Still not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but thank you. Thank you for educating me a little bit. The chat has kind of died down a little bit so we can get off topic, I guess. Hopefully we're not running everybody out with our talk. All right, A says, Oh my gosh, I don't know that I can, but it says, can you give a shout out to my dad, Nioger? I don't know if I'm saying that right. It says he's a huge fan. Well, here's a shout out to him. And thank you for being a fan and watching the videos. I appreciate it. Ed says, I like your thoughts, Chris. Well, I'm not sure which thoughts you're talking about, but good. Not all of them are good, I'm sure. I've got some pretty messed up thinking sometimes. Snake Jones, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. How are we doing on time? Oh my gosh, we are getting close to being done, aren't we? This just flies by. We only got about 7 minutes left. All right. Chat has died down just a little bit. What do I have to talk about? I never plan out anything. Niagara, I think it is. Is that how you pronounce it? Hopefully I got that right. But you are absolutely welcome for the shout out. Tell your dad I said thanks for watching the videos. I appreciate it. Snake wants to know if anyone can rabbit meat. Anyone can rabbit meat. Oh, does anyone can rabbit meat, as in putting it in jars and in a pressure cooker and canning it up? I don't. I don't know. To me, canned meat is just a weird thing. I don't really like the idea of it. So I don't can meat of any kind myself. But, there are instructions. You would can it like you would chicken, basically. So if you've got a Ball Blue Book, you can look up like canning chicken in there. I believe there's proven safe, tested. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Tested recipes in there for canning chicken. I know there's some for like beef and things like that. So, that would be what you're looking for. You're going to pressure cook it probably for an hour and a half or so, I would guess. And if you're above 1,000 feet above sea level, then you'll want to use like 15 pounds of pressure probably. That's just a guess though. Look up a proven recipe and a tested one and make sure that you're safe with it, because botulism, you don't want to get involved with that. That's bad. I just freeze my meat. I don't can any of it. I don't know why. Just canned meat is a weird thing to me. Nothing wrong with it necessarily. It's just my own personal hang up on it. Donna says, I had a friend can my rabbits. It's 45 minutes. Okay. I'll believe you. But I would still verify that in a tested recipe book. Yeah, National Center for Food Preservation. There you go. Something like that. And Snake says, we've been canning meats all week, putting something away for the emergency. Yeah, I don't blame you. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it's my own personal hang up. Just canned meat is just weird. I always think, when I hear canned meat, I think like Spam. And I think of like Vienna sausage and that kind of stuff. And don't really care for it. When I was a kid, my grandpa and I used to go fishing all the time. I'll tell you guys this story real quick. So my grandpa, what a great guy he was. I mean, both sets of grandparents were great. I was really lucky and really blessed to have good family when I was a kid. But this one grandfather in particular, he was a tough old guy and had worked all his life, didn't have a whole lot of education, but was smart as could be. And he used to take me fishing all the time. We'd go fishing, and then we'd stop by this place called Hatfield's Ham and Bacon. It's still in business. I still go there every once in a while. Fantastic meats. I mean, just their smoked bacon. Oh my gosh, it's the best in the world. But anyway, we always stopped there because it was like a little. It's a meat processing store, processor. They sell deli meats and smoked meats, and they do deer processing in deer season, and they have a little grocery store type thing there. So we'd stop there. That'd be our second fishing hole because we were guaranteed to catch something. And we'd go in and grab something to eat, a snack of some kind. He'd always get a can of Vienna sausage and a bag of Cheetos, and he'd eat the can of Vienna sausage with his pocket knife, the same pocket knife that he was using 30 minutes ago to cut up worms to put on the hook or something like that. It was just kind of, ugh. It was gross. But he was fine. He never got sick. Brandon says all meat should be 90 minutes. I thought it was too, but I don't know really. Snake says bacon turns out all right and venison stew. Yep, I get it. And, I've eaten canned stew before. That doesn't really bother me so much. It's just the idea of canned meat. I don't know why. It's a weird mental hang up I have. Jasmine says I can bone-in chicken. It's delicious. I bet it is. Brandon says, I haven't seen any mention or directions for less than that. Yeah, and I'm not the expert on it, but 90 minutes sounds about right to me. I know, When you're canned, it just seems like it's right. It seems like 90 minutes would be it. I would think 45 minutes would be more like for like corn or something. And I can't remember the exact time you pressure can corn, but it seems like that should be 45 minutes. Katrina says, I just canned hot pack and raw pack chicken about a month ago. Both turned out good. I do prefer the hot pack. Okay. And one last shout out to my brother. This is for I guess says one more shout out to my brother Kuthi, I think it is, please. You're probably just saying that to get me to say the names and mess them up. But hopefully I didn't mess them up too bad. Shout out to both you guys. Thank you for watching. Katrina, I would imagine rabbit would be similar. And Snake says 90 minutes in the pot for any meats. Yeah, I think so, but yeah, I don't know. Jasmine says end up with great bone broth and perfect shredded meat. Great for fast meals like soups, casseroles, tacos, chicken salad, etc. I bet it is. T-Dis says canning meat. Never tried. I'm interested now, though. Yeah, it's a thing. And, it's like I said, my hang up on it is just my own mental hang up. It's just seems like a weird thing, but I don't know. Jasmine says, I agree, 90 minutes for me. Yeah, here's the key. Don't trust what anybody says in here, including me. Don't trust it. Don't trust anybody that says, I've been doing it this year. Look it up. Look up a proven, trusted recipe. Ball Blue Book. Ball Blue Book. I always get that backwards, say Blue Ball Book, and that's not it. But anyway, you get what I'm talking about. The Ball Home Guide to Preserving and Canning, or the National Food, National, I always get the name of that wrong too. National Center for Food Preservation. Those are two go-tos. Look up a recipe on there. You can trust canning chicken. It'd be the same for rabbit. And it would work. All right. Del Chuchu says, it was great seeing you, Chris. Good night. Well, good night to you. Thanks for joining. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got a minute or two left. Katrina says, thank you for all the answers. You are absolutely welcome. Brandon says, we just pressure canned corn, and the direction said 90 minutes for that too. Turned out great. Yeah, that may be right. You may be right. Snake Jones says, that got the chat going, talking about meat preservation. Yeah, you're right. It did. T-Dis Farmer says, 90 minutes for meat has my mind blown. I spend hours and hours on indirect heat grilling and smoking. I love different recipes, though, so definitely going to have to try it. Yep, and that's just to make it safe, so make it, shelf stable. It will cook it in the process, and because pressure canner, you're going to have to pressure can it. So there's no water bath canning meat, period. It's going to have to be pressure canned. And according to the Ball Blue Book, rabbit in pint jars is an hour and 15 minutes, and quart jars is an hour and 30 minutes. That sounds about right. Thank you, Robin. Where was I going with that? But yeah, it will cook it. Because, you're talking at 10, 15 pounds pressure. When you get that pressure cooker going, pressure canner, it's incredibly hot inside there. So it is going to get cooked. By the way, I don't know if you guys have ever tried cooking rabbit in a pressure cooker, but it's a great way to do it. It really, you move incredibly fast. Chickens do well in a pressure cooker. I love my pressure cooker. It's great. Oh, look at that. There's a $4.99 chat just as I was getting, or a $4.99 super chat from Robin Hill. Thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate that. Just barely, I almost signing off, and then you got me stuck here for just a little bit longer. One more thing. Jasmine says, great live tonight. Thanks for your time, Chris, and everyone. You are absolutely welcome. And Darren says, this week was not a very nice week for me. I have 41 quails in the incubator, and the power went out while I was not home. When I reach home, I plug the incubator into my generator, and 9 of the hatch in the night, 5 died in the water. After 20 days, I cracked the eggs, and only 4 of them never had a bird, but all was dead. I have 30 eggs in the incubator now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's too bad. Another $4.99 check. Robin, thank you so much for that. That's so kind of you. 2 of them right back to back for no reason at all. Didn't ask a question or anything. Just throwing money at me. You're so kind. Thank you so much. All right. Yep, I have seen, I've had power go out in my incubator for a little while and still had things hatch. It was fine. But anyway. Yep. Let's see. I'm waiting for Robin to get her comment out so I can make sure I get that answered before we sign off. Paula is making it just in time, just barely in time. If it wasn't for Robin throwing money, I'd probably be gone already, but she threw money at me, so I'm Feel like I'm obligated to make sure I get her question answered. Make sure your incubator is away from any Wi-Fi devices. Really? That's weird. The live iMod on tonight just ended. Good. Well, I'm glad you caught me too, Paula. I saw Kyle the other day at Walmart. He probably told you. Yeah, I just ran into him while I was doing some shopping, and he was doing shopping. But I had to go get quail food. I had to go to Atwood's over in Webb City, and I was early. So I just stopped by the Webb City Walmart and figured, well, I'll just shop around for a minute and kill some time. T-Disc says, I lost almost half our quail in the incubation when the Texas, I think that is, snowpocalypse happened. Lost power and almost lost a lot more lives there. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Sharon says, just came over from Hidden Heights Live. I don't know who Hidden Heights is. I'm going to have to look that one up. But thank you for stopping by. Unfortunately, we're actually past the time. I was waiting for Robin to get a question out for me. She threw a couple of super chats in here, and yeah, I assumed it probably was Paula. She threw a couple of super chats in here, but hasn't asked a question. So wanted to make sure I got it answered for her if she had one. But it doesn't look like it's happening. So I don't know. We may have to go ahead and wrap this one up. I'll give it like 2 or 3 more minutes just to make sure. T-Disc says, take it easy, all. Bless you all. You too, T-Disc. Thanks for joining tonight. I appreciate it. Moon Outdoors. See you at QuailCon. Safe travels. Thank you. Safe travels to you too. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. I don't know how much, I haven't looked at the weather forecast for there, but it looked like the rain that was coming through here was heading that way. I don't know if it's going to be cleared out by Sunday. It looked like most of it was going to be on Saturday probably. So who knows? Hopefully we'll have, I don't mind a little bit of rain. Doesn't bother me too much, but that many people and a bunch of rain, it could be could be a little uncomfortable at times, but we'll be fine, I'm sure. Rose says, good night. Have a good QuailCon, everyone. Thank you, Ro. You have a good night too. And Paula says, do you know anyone who would come revamp my garden paths and such by any chance? I'm not sure what you mean by revamp them. What are you needing done to them? I might know. I might be able to help too. I don't know. I'm just not sure what you're needing done. I can't think of anybody right offhand to refer you to, but depending on what you need done, and if I can find time, I'd be happy to help. Redo them all together. Your garden paths. So you're talking about like the walking paths. Are they just overgrown with weeds and things like that? I'm guessing. We'll see. I've got a torch. So if it is just like a weed problem, that's what I would suggest is the torch. It hooks up to a propane tank. You just burn it all. Paula says, I've talked to 3 landscapers and 1 contractor and nobody seems interested. Yes, I want something better than the gravel. What I would suggest is like a good heavy duty landscape fabric. I've got some. I don't know that I have enough. But you can definitely use a torch if you want to. It's not difficult. And you don't have to burn the stuff to the ground. It's kind of like a weed killer. You just go over the weeds with it and it will drop them off. It will kill them. And Robin Hall with another super chat. I'm beginning to wonder if somebody's hacked somebody's account here and is taking advantage. There's $15 in super chats already thrown my way with not a question asked or anything like that. Hopefully, Robin, that's actually you and not somebody taking advantage of your account or something like that. And you have landscape fabric under that. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, why I'm not getting any chats from Robin. But I do appreciate the super chats. Don't get me wrong. It just seems odd there would be 3 $5 super chats coming from the same person a little bit apart. So, oh, there we go. There's a chat. Okay, what can I help you with, Robin? We're going way past time tonight, but that's okay. We'll hang out for just a minute or 2 more. My wife's not home from work tonight. She's running a little late. Well, yeah, she may have a connection problem, Paula. You may be right. Leadership help desk. Woke up yesterday. Incubator was stuck. Incubator. Oh no. Incubator was stuck at 127 degrees. Oh, that's terrible. 438 eggs. Oh, or 430 eggs. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm assuming the thermostat went out. I had that happen with one of my incubators. With my incubator, my little giant. And I did contact the company, Miller Manufacturing, and they sent me a brand new thermostat. No questions asked. It was great customer service, but yeah, I lost all my eggs from that hatch. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, a wafer therm and a digital thermometer? Ugh. Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's working now. All right, I got about maybe 5 more minutes I can hang on here. Hopefully Robin can get her question out to me or whatever she needs help with, and I can help with that. I hope I can anyway. There it is. I have 9 quail, half male and half female, 3 months old. Need more females or less males? Do you know someone in Augusta, Georgia? Unfortunately, I don't know anybody in Augusta, Georgia. But check on Craigslist. You should be able to probably find some people that have quail for sale. You just may have to check kind of fairly frequently, but I'm sure that they'll come up. You'll find people that have some quail that you can get. So you have 9 quail, half females, half male and half females, 3 months old. So if you don't plan on like processing the birds yourself to get rid of some of your males, that's always an option. Or you can offer up the extra males on Craigslist for $1 or $2 a piece or something like that to have somebody take them off your hands for you. That's the only things that I can think of. And Flock and Family Homestead says, "Evening, sir. How's the family? They're doing well. Thank you." Moon Outdoors says the forecast Sunday in Miamisburg is 24% chance of rain. That sounds pretty good. And Katrina says, also check on Facebook, Katernick's Corner and Newbie Quail Lovers groups. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Katrina. The only thing is there's no reason you can't check on there for sure. You can't sell animals through Facebook, but that doesn't mean you can't set up connections and go work on it. Yeah, if I was closer, Augusta, Georgia's a long way away. If I was closer, I'd help you out too. Paula says maybe separate all but one male from the females, hatch the eggs to build up the flock. There's a good idea. If you have another cage, you can put all the extra males in another cage, hatch some more eggs, and then build up the flock that way. Robin says, just because I love your advice. Well, thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate that. And I was just getting worried there that somebody had stolen your stolen your account there and was just spending your money like crazy. All right, I got to wrap this one up, guys. We're well past the time. I still got to have dinner and all that kind of stuff. But Robin, I'm sorry I couldn't help you out with that. I just don't know anybody in Augusta, Georgia, and I don't really know. I don't know anybody that has a quail that you could just buy a couple of males off of. If you can find somebody that has quail, I'm sure they'd sell you a couple of males. Everybody's always looking to get rid of roosters, but or actually, you're looking for hens. Never mind. I can't help with that, unfortunately. So. All right, I got to wrap this one up. Yeah, absolutely. Have Kyle get a hold of me. Do you guys have a propane tank? If you do, just borrow the torch. It's no big deal. You just hook it up to a propane tank and go to town. It's fine. Have him get a hold of me. We'll get it worked out. Of course, I'm going to be out of town this weekend, and then next Friday I'm leaving for vacation, so I'll be out of town next Friday too. For the whole week. But either way, we'll get it figured out. It's coming up on a good time to go ahead and do that, fall. So yeah, you don't want to be out there burning things in heat of summer. It's just too hot. Anyway, yeah, holler at me. He just started his 3-weeker. I don't know what that means. 3 weeks of work, 3 weeks of vacation, 3 weeks of time. Anyway, get a hold of me. We'll work it out. We'll make sure that I get you hooked up with that and you can use it. You can use it all you want. It's fine. 3 weeks of vacation. Oh, that's better. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining tonight, guys. I had a good time. Always do. Hopefully, we will see you guys again here next Thursday evening. We'll see a lot of you at QuailCon hopefully this weekend. And God bless you all. We'll see you next time. Take care.